Good morning. Today I'm just going to very quickly go over the distributive property. And just so nobody gets lost, I'm going to be writing all the math that's happening off to the side. And I'll also be plugging in the multiplication steps in the calculator because so often I'm asked, like, where did that number come from? And I don't want anyone to get lost along the way. So looking at number one, the first thing we notice are these parentheses. Now, we don't want to leave parentheses in our answer because it's not fully simplified if we do. Now, to get rid of parentheses, we have to perform multiplication with whatever number is stuck to the parentheses. So we have to take the number that's stuck, in this case, 7, and we have to multiply it to each item, each term on the inside. So very quickly, let's just ask ourselves, what is 7 times x? Well, that is going to give you 7x. Next, we're going to take the 7 and multiply it to the other term in the parentheses, positive 4. Well, 7 times 4 is 28. So we're going to put a 28 here, but that's a positive 28. So we're going to put plus 28. The last thing you have to ask yourself when you get rid of parentheses is, can I combine? Can I add the 7x and the 28 together? And the answer is no, because they are not like terms. The 7 has an x stuck to it, and the 28 is a constant, a normal number. So this is all we can do. We are done performing the distributive property. Now let's look at number 4 below. I notice parentheses again, and I want to get rid of them. So we are going to do the same steps as in number 1. We need to take the number that's outside the parentheses, in this case negative 5, and multiply it to each term on the inside. So negative 5 times m. That is just negative 5m. Next, we ask ourselves, are we done? And the answer is no. We only finish distributing when we've distributed the negative 5 to every term inside the parentheses. And this negative 2 is untouched. So let's do this multiplication. And please remember, you have to multiply by whatever sign belongs to the term. So negative 5 times negative 2 will give you a positive 10. Be super careful with your signs. Since it gave us a positive 10, we are going to put plus 10. Asking ourselves if we can combine the negative 5m and the 10, we realize one of them has a variable, the other does not, so we are done. Let's find another problem. Let's try this one. Number 10. I see parentheses. I do not want them. I get rid of parentheses by multiplication. I'm going to multiply the 3 to the m. 3m is just 3m. Then we're going to take the 3 and multiply it to the positive n. 3 times n is a positive 3n. Well, I'm not allowed to combine these because those are two different terms. So we are done. Let's look at number 8. We see parentheses. We don't want them. So take the number outside the parentheses, in this case 5, and distribute it to each term on the inside. Here I see 5 times 2m. Well, 5 times 2 will give you 10. And the m is going to be stuck with him now. Then we're going to take the 5 and distribute him to the negative 3. 5 times negative 3. Always remember to bring your signs along, otherwise your answer will not be the same. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. And because the 10 has an m stuck to him and the 15 does not, we cannot combine them, and this is all we can do with this problem. Now let's look at number 5. Some students look at this and they think, oh, well, there's nothing on the outside of those parentheses, just a sign. But that's where that negative invisible 1 comes in. It's just negative 1. So we're going to follow those same steps. We're going to do negative 1 times y. Negative 1 times y is negative 1y. Then we're going to take negative 1 and multiply him to negative 9. Negative 1 times negative 9 Remember your signs, a negative times a negative is a positive. So when we do -1 times -9, we get +9.